This meeting is being live streamed. That's a good thing. Okay. Please stay with us while we're loading up YouTube. And we're on dial pad meetings and we're on Zoom. And this meeting is on live stream. That's a good thing. Just getting started. Okay. Please stay with us while we're loading up YouTube. And we're on dial pad meetings and we're on Zoom. That's a good thing. Just getting started. Okay. Please stay with us while we're YouTube. And hopefully we have an audio going here now. And I'm hoping we do. And let's get this over here. And welcome to Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst, Master Herbalist, and we're here talking about natural remedies. We're not talking about drugs. We're not talking about curing. We're talking about natural remedies and the power of God that can help us to stay well. And that's what we're talking about here. So please stay with us while we get loaded up here. And I think we are now. And I want to thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Boost. Coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries. And thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. We're just getting started. And here we are on Discoveries in Health. Every Thursday, we're here talking about natural remedies and how to use natural remedies. And we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. We're talking about how to use natural remedies. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And we're just coming over here to the desktop. And we're looking on the desktop for the Discoveries in Health intro. And I don't see that. What happened to it? Let's go and find it. Let's go over here and let's go down to this PC, the USB-D, and let's click on. We could do this. Where's the there's USB drive. Intro. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. And we're joining the folks over there. Street. And thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And we are here every Thursday. Well, not every Thursday. Sometimes we have technical difficulties and so forth, but we try to be here every Thursday talking about and answering questions for people who want to know about natural remedies and how they work and which ones may be helpful for them. And of course, we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. That's what doctors do. I'm an herbalist. And what herbalists do is we talk about natural remedies. Since the beginning of time, there's always been herbalists. There were no drug dealers in the early days. The drug dealers came later, and a lot of problems along with it with people taking chemicals that their body didn't recognize as food, and then they wondered why things didn't work and how the United States became one of the sickest nations in the world. Drugs and their and their obsession with drugs only. It's wrong because it's not a drugs only scenario. It's a let's all help each other with whatever needs to be done scenario. But the drug dealers don't get that. They want a monopoly. They have a monopoly, and they're gonna keep their monopoly. That's and they do not want you to use natural remedies. That's a fact. Pharmaceutical industry, although they are buying up health food businesses and trying to change them into more of a drug dealing scenario. It's kind of strange, but we'll get used to it, you know, and we'll get used to what the problem is, and we'll solve it, because natural remedies have been here since the beginning of time, and they haven't gone away. Well, if they were no good and they were useless, they wouldn't have gone away. They would have gone away. They would have you couldn't find them if they were no good. But the fact is, natural remedies do work. It's a well-known secret, and it's terrible that it's being kept a secret. We need to realize how valuable these natural remedies are and which ones may help us. We need to make, food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be food. And when we do that, things work out a lot better than relying on eat anything you want, drink anything you want, and then run to the doctor. There's a lot of people that will tell you that's not working, because it does not work. So that's what we're doing here. We're talking about natural remedies, not drugs. We're not prescribing. We're not diagnosing. We're just trying to get this information out to people who need to know about how to use natural remedies. And if so that being said, let's go over and open this broadcast with an opening prayer. And the opening prayer is, let's see if it's over here. No, we're going to have to go get the opening prayer, and we could do that. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that at all. We're going to cancel. We're not going to leave the meeting. We're going to minimize that. And we're going to go over here to bringing this up over here, and we're going to click on a tab, and we're going to bring up the whole body armor of God. That's where I like to start a broadcast, is with Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6, 10 to 18. And Ephesians 6, 10 to 18. Here we are looking at the whole body armor of God. And that's what we need to keep on. We need to put it on. We need to keep it on. We're constantly under attack. And it's a bad thing. But in the name of Jesus Christ, we're here praising, worshiping, and thanking the Most High God. And in Jesus Christ's name, all praises to the Most High God. And finally, my brethren, as it says in Ephesians 6, 10 to 18, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. And above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith we shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name, all praises to the Most High God. We praise, worship, and thank you, the Most High God, as we receive your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's name, we praise, we worship, and we thank the Most High God, and we receive his complete, continuous, endless, limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We praise and worship and thank the Most High God. So be it. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And we are live over YouTube, live over Zoom, live over Dialpad meetings, and we're going over here and inviting folks to open up their microphone over in the Dialpad meetings if you have any kind of a question or a topic or a suggestion, knowing that we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, but we will answer your question about natural remedies, how they work, which ones might be valuable for you to know about. And if you have any question at all, please press your star key 2 times on your telephone, and we'll talk about it here on Discoveries in Health. And I don't see Anybody pressing their star key 2 times on the microphone over there in dial pad meetings, which means they just want to hear what it is that we're going to talk about today. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to go over to the website, herbalhealthreview.com. And on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, we are going to click on my book, the Herbal Descriptions. And Herbal Descriptions is my book that is in its 4th edition. It's the only thing you can buy on the website, because I don't sell products. I consult regarding products, but I don't sell products. The government called me up and told me that I shouldn't be selling products. And so, and if I did, they're going to do bad things to me. So in 2010, that's the last time I sold any products and got any money from the sale of any products, was in 2010. And that's a long time ago, folks. That's 13, almost 14 years ago now. And that's the last time I received a paycheck. What I get is donations from folks to help me do this ministry. This is a ministry. It's Good Shepherd Ministries. And I formed Good Shepherd Ministries in 1999. And still going, still helping people, still praising the Most High, and talking about natural remedies that help people, that help the suffering of humanity. Obviously, the suffering of humanity is not helped so much with drugs as we are the 38th sickest nation in the world. We're kept sick. If we were the greatest nation in the world, we wouldn't be the sickest nation in the world. So, we all like to think that the United States is the greatest nation in the world. Well, those of us that live here and grew up here and were born here and so forth, and the folks that live here in the U.S., well, we think it's the greatest nation in the world, except we're constantly under attack, constantly prevented from using natural remedies because they are a threat to a drug scenario. And that's sad, isn't it? That it's more that money and drugs is more important than the time proven natural remedies. That's not right. The drug companies were given a monopoly, but they have one, and it's not right. A drug monopoly is ridiculous. We all should be working together. We need drug medications when we need them, and we need our natural remedies when we need them. But natural remedies have been vilified. That's right. They've been called the villains. They've been called useless. The drug dealers have done everything to stop you from using natural remedies, food. As far as and they've gone into the point where they've created laws that foods are drugs and drugs are foods. Yeah. So that's what we're dealing here. We're dealing with evil, real bad evil that's causing misery and suffering and death in America, and Americans aren't doing much about it. No. They're kind of just turning the other way and watching people suffer to death, watching people be told the lie that that's the only way that they're going to be helped, is to run to their medical doctor. You should run to the medical doctor, get a diagnosis, and find out what natural remedies may help you. That's right. Get it so you know what it is. That's about what they're good for. But to drug you to death, that's what's happening a lot. And we need to attend to our diet. And a lot of people, they won't give up things that they like to eat or they like to drink, whether they're bad for them or not. It's kind of like cigarette smokers who won't give up cigarettes. They're addicted to to those cigarettes. They're addicted to those foods. They're addicted to alcohol. And and they keep telling themselves, well, I'll just do it I'll do it, and one of these days I'll probably quit. But they don't. They wind up in a hospital, being medicated and surgeried to death because they wouldn't give up the alcohol. They wouldn't give up the drugs. They wouldn't give up the bad food. And then when it's too late, they're sorry because they're suffering and suffering to death. And I'm helping these people every day. And they wish that they had attended to their diet and taken herbs earlier, but they didn't do it. They come to you later when they're just about suffering to death. Then they go see an herbalist because they finally get it. They finally get it that the drug system is not working. That's why everybody's constantly suffering to death. The medical drug system does not work. You know it, I know it, but everybody's being lied to and lied to and lied to. The lies are so convincing that you just believe them. You say, I get sick, I got to run to my doctor and I got to take all those drugs and surgeries and so forth. That's what then people keep telling themselves that's what they're supposed to do. And then they do it. And then they call me later and they say, man, am I sorry. Man, am I sorry, because I just wished I'd attended to my diet. I wished that I'd come to you earlier. I wish that I helped my brother, my mother, my father, my sister, my friends. I wish that I helped them sooner, but they don't. They just, it's just an endless parade to the doctor, to the mortuary. It's got to end, folks. People got to wake up. You do not need to be drugged to death. You need to attend to your diet, food, natural remedies, and find out about them. That's it. Because suffering to death and taking it all until diabetes is amputating your feet off and your arms and your legs and your fingers and so forth. I'm witnessing this, and I don't want to witness it anymore. I want you to really think about natural remedies and how they keep you healthy. That's what we need to do, folks. We need to use those natural remedies that stay healthy. So I'm over here on the looking at my some pages out of my book, Herbal Descriptions, which is on the website. It's over here in the store. You come over here in the store. You can click on the store on herbalhealthreview.com, and and there's my book right there, and there's all the ways to join this system. See, this is a complete system that helps you to be healthy, then keeps you healthy, and makes the pharmaceutical industry angry. That's why I do this, to get you healthy, keep you healthy, and make the pharmaceutical industry angry. That's why I do this. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm 83 years old. I'm 130 pounds. I'm in perfect health. And I'm going to keep right on going. And I want to show you how I do it. I want to show you how I can be so healthy and so happy using natural remedies. I want to share that. I'd be a bad person if I didn't try to share it with you. So anyway, I'm over here and I'm looking at my book, Herbal Descriptions, and I'm clicking on the information that's up here on the website. And I'm going over to tincture formulations. And we've been looking at tincture formulations. And we've looked at single herbs, and we've looked at the tincture formulations, but the tincture formulations, those are the most complicated way of putting together natural remedies or natural remedies. When you put one herb with another herb and another herb, and you're balancing it out, and you're working on formulations of herbs that help people. And we're talking about an acne and skin formula last week. Let's take a look at what helps folks who have attention deficit disorder. If they have attention deficit, ADHD. Let's take a look at what formulations of herbs may be helpful for that kind of a thing. So we're bringing up this formulation, ADHD formulation of herbs. Let's take a look at what the ingredients are. The ingredients in a formulation that could be valuable for people with ADD and ADHD. I'm not saying it's the cure. I'm saying it may be helpful. These are the herbs that when you do the research and you look at each herb individually, you can see why that herb may be helpful. Now, when you start connecting ginkgo leaf with gotu kola and eleuthero root and photai root and skullcap and passion flower and valerian root and mistletoe and hops flowers, now you have a formulation that is doing many things all at the same time, and may be valuable. Those particular nutrients may be valuable for ADD, ADHD. That's a formulation of herbs. So let's take a look at ginkgo leaf. Why would ginkgo leaf be an herb that would be helpful? Well, let's take a look at ginkgo and find out why ginkgo would be a valuable herb. Ginko, ginkgo. Let's look at the benefits of ginkgo. Well, ginkgo is an herb that let's get over here. Okay, benefits. I'm on my way. We'll help you. And where's ginkgo? So what are the benefits of ginkgo? Well, it has a long history of use in treating blood disorders and memory issues. Ginkgo, it is best known today as a way to potentially keep your memory sharp. Ginkgo biloba. The laboratory studies on ginkgo have shown that ginkgo improves blood circulation by opening up blood vessels and making blood less sticky. That's called the viscosity, blood viscosity. And the viscosity is being kept thin and rather than thick, so that it's flowing. So it's improving blood circulation, and it's specifically doing it to the brain, but it's doing it throughout the entire body. But it really also sending all this opening up that circulation to the brain. So that would be a very, very good thing to know about. One of the greatest foods for the brain is lecithin. Lecithin is a brain food. So lecithin, Lecithin, lecithin. It's a brain food. It feeds the nervous system. The brain is nervous tissue, and so you're improving blood supply. And if you find out about lecithin, let's take a look at lecithin, because that's going to improve brain health. So let's go take a look at lecithin, and Lecithin, lecithin, lecithin benefits. And there are the lecithin. Let's look at that, because lecithin, what does it do for the body? Well, lecithin can also be taken as a dietary supplement, and some studies have found that lecithin supplements may reduce cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and improve symptoms of ulcerative colitis. They also, the lecithin is also a source of choline, a nutrient that is essential for cellular health and the nervous system. It's really an incredible nutrient. But soy lecithin is what has normally been used, but you can use sunflower lecithin, then you don't get the soy. And when you've got sunflower lecithin, it can lower cholesterol, it can boost brain function. Sunflower lecithin, which you can purchase online, it may improve ulcerative colitis. It supports skin health. It aids in breastfeeding for moms. It strengthens the nervous system. It may lower stress levels, and it promotes strong bones, according to research June 24, 2022. Some of the latest information. So lecithin isn't just from soy. Lecithin can come from sunflower. And when it does, that would be the one that I would choose. Now, let's get back over here to ADD and ADHD. So ginkgo. So that's why a ginkgo is going to increase the circulation. That's why it's good for ADD and ADHD. Now, gotu kola is the second herb in this formulation. And the reason that I put gotu kola in this formulation that I created many years ago, gotu kola. Let's go take a look and see, let's go take a look at gotu kola. And if we are looking in at gotu kola, GOTUKOLA. Let's go take a look at gotu kola benefits. Well, the gotu kola today, and in the US and in Europe, gotu kola is most often used to treat varicose veins and chronic venous insufficiency. Gotu kola, and this venous and this varicose veins and venous insufficiency, a condition where blood pools in the legs. It is also used in ointments to treat psoriasis and help heal minor wounds. Gotu kola, GOTUKOLA, gotu kola is not the same as kola nut. colonite, natida. It's not the same. It's not the same as cola nut. Gotu kola, what does it do? Well, it goes right to the brain, and gotu kola improves acetylcholine levels in your brain. It increases blood flow and helps reduce oxidative damage and toxins in brain cells. As a result, you may feel a boost in mental activity and may say that taking gotu kola is like energizing the brain. So that's one of the reasons, part of the reasons why we are using gotu kola in this ADHD herbal formulation I created many decades ago. Now, besides the ginkgo leaf to increase circulation to the brain, gotu kola to bring a clarity to the brain and wake up the brain. It kind of clears the brain, gotu kola does. But then there's eleuthero root. Eleuthero root was originally called Siberian ginseng and still is, and it's not a ginseng. But the Russians found out that eleuthero root was so much like ginseng, they called it Siberian ginseng because it just would give you all this power, stamina, and endurance. Well, let's take a look at eleuthero root and let's see why eleuthero root. Let's see what it says about that. Okay, we'll come over here. We click on eleuthero, Control V, and we're looking at the benefits of eleuthero root. And the Eleutherococcus synthecosus, also called Siberian ginseng, when it isn't really a ginseng, but it's like a ginseng. Then the eleuthero contains many chemicals that affect the brain and the immune system and certain hormones. So what happened over here? Okay. And so and it's affecting certain hormones, eleuthero root. People use eleuthero for genital herpes. People have used it for diabetes. I'm not claiming it's curing anything here. Anybody who wants to try to shut me down for trying to help people to understand how herbs are, because I get shut down frequently because I'm trying to explain herbs, and we got people out there who don't want you to hear about herbs, or that there are herbs that that people use, or they don't want me to cite reports about people that are using genital eleuthero or any other herb for things like genital herpes, diabetes, athletic performance, memory, and thinking skills, and common cold, and many other conditions. That those are the times that people are using it as a food, because it's a food. It's not a drug. And it's a shame that the drug dealers are constantly trying to turn food into drugs and trying to mimic food and make a drug out of food. It's disgusting. Anyway, but there is no good scientific evidence to support these uses. See that? That's it. There is no good scientific evidence to support most of these uses for eleuthero, and you're not going to get a lot of scientific information from it. But how does it work? They're saying that there's no scientific information. So now let's look at the scientific information. You see, the people that write these reports, they have to say things like, there is no good scientific evidence to support most of these uses. And then I turn around and start giving you scientific sources, because you have to say stuff like that or they shut you off. Ridiculous situation. Anyway, so how does it affect the brain? Well, eleuthero also increases catecholamines, such as norepinephrine and dopamine in parts of the brain. It increases these. So scientifically, they know that, but they're saying there's no scientific evidence. So it's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, and you have to say that. The exact way it influences their levels of activity is unknown. They can't figure it out. So since they can't figure it out and it's unknown to them, then it's no good. Well, that's no good that they're not getting the evidence when it's there, because they know that it does, but they're not going to prove it because they don't want you to have it. Eleuthero may also affect levels of a brain chemical called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. As of May 2021, that's that research report. There's no good research on it. There's no good research coming from bad people. And a lot of this research that you are getting from the scientific community is fraud. A lot of it. Yes. We're living in a world that is not honest, folks. And honest people like me, man, we're swimming with sharks. Now, Eleutherococcus, what is it? This is an incredible herb. Okay, here's the scientific evidence that they don't have. Here's more unscientific evidence. Eleuthero is considered a neuroendocrine regulator herb, meaning it helps balance or regulate the communication between two majorly important systems in our body: hormone producing endocrine cells and nerve cells. Well, science knows that. So, and that's good scientific information. August 30th, 2018. That's it. It's helping cells to communicate. And that's what's going on with ADD and ADHD. They're not able to, the hormones that aren't balanced out, and the endocrine cells and the nerve cells aren't able to communicate. But Eleuthero helps them to communicate. And that's great scientific information. Does Eleuthero help with other things? Well, according to science, endurance capacity has been long associated with better overall health. And Eleuthero may be one of the many dietary additions that can improve your ability to lose weight, because Eleuthero has been shown to increase fat utilization, making us burn fat faster. Hey, there's some science right there, but there's no good science, what the other guy said, because he has to say that. So if he doesn't say that, they won't print what he says. Yeah, we're swimming with sharks, folks. So what is the problem with the Eleuthero? Is there a problem with it? Eleuthero might lower blood sugar levels. Taking Eleuthero along with diabetes medication might cause blood sugar to drop too low. Monitor your blood sugar closely when you're taking Eleuthero, because they might not be able to find the diabetes anymore. That would make the drug dealers mad, wouldn't it? Other uses of eleuthero include that it's been used for heart disease prevention, according to an August 3, 2017 study. It's been used for anxiety relief and depression relief. That's the research that's coming up here. Okay, I don't make this stuff up, folks. I'm just quoting research, and where there's not supposed to be any. So, who should take eleuthero? Well, according to this study, who should not? Well, hormone sensitive conditions such as breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, endometriosis, or uterine fibroids. Eleuthero might act like estrogen. It might, and they don't know. And so they're just guessing that maybe you shouldn't take it for this and maybe you shouldn't take it for that. So if you have any condition that might be made worse by exposure to estrogen, you may not want to use eleuthero. Okay? And does eleuthero increase dopamine? Well, ingestion of 2,000 milligrams per kilogram eleuthero to mice for a week, 1 week, appears to exert antidepressive effects associated with whole brain upregulation of CAMP, response element binding, and monoamines, serotonin, noradrenaline, and dopamine. So it's associated with the upregulation of these. So it may increase dopamine because it does exert, according to scientific studies, that eleuthero helps depression and causes an antidepressive effect. So that's why it's used in ADD and ADHD. That's one of the reasons. Anyway, let's move on to another one here. We're looking at a formulation. Why many decades ago, because I've been doing this for 62 years, many decades ago, why did I combine ginkgo leaf, gotu kola, and eleuthero root? Well, because all of these synergistically together affect ADD, ADHD. Of course, scientifically, we can't approve. We can't prove it, and you're not going to prove it because they don't accept these kinds of scientific studies that would prove it. The herbs are kept down and the drugs are kept up. That's what this is all about, folks. You need to know about the herbs because you're not supposed to know about them. You're not supposed to have them. That's a real good reason to have them. Foti root. Now that is an absolutely incredible herb. The oldest man alive who lived an incredibly long time, the man who lived longer than anybody else, took foti root. He took foti root. So why did the oldest living individual who ever lived the longest, why did that person take foti root? According to Chinese medicine, foti root. This is why, folks. Foti root. Let's take a look at foti root and the health benefits of foti root. Foti root, it is used to increase liver and kidney function and to cleanse the blood. The plant is also prescribed prescribed, doctors must be prescribing it for symptoms of premature aging, such as gray hair. It is commonly found, what do we got here? Oh, we got somebody else coming in. Hi, Lorna. Thanks for joining us. And we have a plant that is prescribed for symptoms of premature aging, such as gray hair, and is commonly found in hair products. Looks like, hi, Lorna, thanks for joining us. And I see that you have your camera on, and I can see you. Hi, Lorna. And we're talking about Fotai root, and that has been used for premature aging, such as gray hair, and it's commonly found in hair care products in China. And it is also used to treat insomnia and weak bones, constipation, and hardening and narrowing of the arteries. So that's why it's a great herb. It's going to help the liver, the kidneys, cleansing the blood. Helps. It's been used historically and traditionally for premature aging. So, what is the side effects of Fotai? Well, common side effects of taking Fotai include diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain, and vomiting. So if it affects you that way, then you don't take that herb, or you take it very carefully so you don't have diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain, and vomiting. It may also lower your body's potassium level, leading to symptoms such as muscle weakness. And it can also cause an allergic rash in some people, according to a July 13, 2019 study. So those things we're cautious about. And does Fotai really work? Well, according to this, Ho Shu Wu. It's going He Shu Wu. He Shu Wu is the Chinese name for Fotai. He Shu Wu is an herbal remedy used to promote healthy aging and treat conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. These are the times that you would use it, not as a cure, because you're not allowed to use anything as a cure except drugs, folks. You got to learn the rules of the evil people. And the evil people say you are not supposed to use herbs except for food, according to them. So, you got to listen to the evil people and then put tape over their mouth. Anyway, is an herbal remedy used to promote healthy aging and treat conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Yet, evidence to support its effectiveness is insufficient. There's no evidence, so you can't supply any evidence to these people, because they're not going to get in. The fact that it's been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, there's no evidence that it has any value. The reason they must have been using it for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, because they just didn't know any better. What do you think? I think they knew better. I think they knew it worked in it, and that's why they kept using it for thousands of years. Anyway, no safe dosage has been determined. Additionally, the remedy has been linked to serious side effects like liver damage. Been linked. They're trying to link it to liver damage when it actually helps the liver. It's helping the liver, but the evil people are saying that it has been linked to liver damage. It's linked to helping people when they have liver damage, is what's going on there. Now, and because the evidence is in, folks, that he shu wu helps increase liver and kidney function. But some nutcase said that it's linked to serious side effects like liver damage. Shame on them, because it actually, the studies over and over and over again, like August 25, 22, August 25, 2022, a year ago, it's shown in a study, it increases liver and kidney function. It cleanses the blood. It relieves symptoms of premature aging, and it prevents insomnia. That's it. It's also good for hair growth, and it's been used for that. And so that's enough for he shu wu fotai, one of the greatest rejuvenators for keeping you young when you should be old. Fotai. I used a lot of that in earlier years, and I still use it. Let's take a look. So that's why fotai is in there. Okay, ginkgo leaf, gotu kola, eleuthero oak, fotai. Then there's skullcap and passion flower and valerian root, and those are all herbs for the nervous system. Okay, those are all herbs that support the nervous system, as a skullcap, passion flower, and valerian root, and mistletoe and hops flowers. So you've got all of these herbs balanced out in here, feeding, nourishing the nervous system, and helping people with ADD, ADHD. And that is an ADD, ADHD formulation. And that's why it works. It works. It helps people. So that's it for ADHD. Let's go back to another formula here, and let's describe another formulation. Okay, because we just described single herbs. Let's tincture formulations. So looking at tincture formulations, let's look at one for adrenals and hypoglycemic, adrenals and hypoglycemic formula. Okay, let's look at what kind of a formula would that be, and what are the herbs in it. Let's take a look at that formulation. We're describing formulations that I've been creating over the last 62 years, and we're talking about an herbal formula that is used for adrenals and hypoglycemia, and the ingredients in a formulation that is used to support. I didn't say cure. I didn't say heal. I didn't say it was a drug. I said it's a food. These are foods. Licorice root is a food. Juniper berry is a food. Wild yam is a food. Dandelion and ginger, all foods, not drugs. But these foods are nourishing and healing to the body. Drugs aren't nourishing and healing to the body. Let's see why licorice root would be in a formulation that is for the adrenal glands. And if somebody's hypoglycemic, why would we use licorice root? Okay, licorice root. There we go, licorice. There we have licorice root. Okay, we're on the trail here, looking for the benefits. And the reason why licorice root would be used for the adrenals and hypoglycemia is because today licorice root is promoted as a dietary supplement for conditions such as digestive problems, menopausal problems, cough, and bacterial and viral infections. And licorice gargles or lozenges have been used to try to prevent or reduce the sore throat that sometimes occurs after surgery. So that's sometimes that licorice is used. And is licorice safe to take every day? Well, eating licorice 5 grams or more daily for several weeks, if you're taking that much and nobody's giving, and I've never told anybody to take 5 grams or more of licorice ever. But if somebody was taking 5 grams or more of licorice root for several weeks, it can cause severe side effects, including a heart attack. People who have heart disease, kidney disease, or high blood pressure are more sensitive to licorice root. So if you have heart disease, kidney disease, or high blood pressure, let's be very cautious of using licorice root. Ingesting large amounts of it is never a good idea. Large amounts of licorice from candy, lozenges, or tea might also cause serious side effects. Okay, now that I've scared you with people with the overuse of it, but if you drink too much water, you can drown. I'm not kidding. But I'm not going to go on and on about drinking water and drowning, nor am I going to go on about ingesting too much of anything, including licorice. Okay, so what are the side effects? And who should not take it? Well, we already talked about people who shouldn't take it. People with heart failure, heart disease, hormone-sensitive cancers such as breast, ovarian, uterine, and prostate cancer. Those are times when the medical scientists, who are about half of them are frauds, they're saying that you don't want to take it when there's and that's so you want to be careful of that. Okay, they're about half right. So what we're talking about are the side effects of licorice. Okay, the side effects: licorice contains the compounds glycyrrhizin, and this compound is 50 times sweeter than sugar. And taking too much glycerin, glycoside, from ingesting too much licorice in food or supplement form can cause fluid retention. And it can also lead to elevated blood pressure, hypertension. So again, too much is too much, and we're not talking about too much. We're talking about a very small amount in a formula. Okay.
Hello, sorry, Dr. Truman.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I joined a bit late, actually. I was having problems signing in and everything. I just wanted to know, will I have some time to ask a question about my own personal issue a bit later on?
Well, number one, it's against the law for anyone to help you with your own personal issues. Thank you to the pharmaceutical industry. So I can't help you with your personal issues. It's against the law, against their rules, and they would have me arrested and jailed and do terrible things to me. But I can talk about anything you want to talk about, as long as you're not telling me that it's that it's for you or for someone else. I can talk about cancer. I can
Yeah.
talk about heart disease. I can talk about the natural remedies that may be helpful. But to talk about you or any health disorder, if you want me to be arrested, please go ahead and do that.
No, I wouldn't want you to be arrested.
Okay. No, of course not. Of course not. So,
Okay.
what would you like me to talk about it and explain, since I can't talk about you or any person without being arrested?
Okay. All right. So it's about endometrial cancer.
It's endometrial cancer. So
Yeah.
let's talk about endometrial cancer. All right. Let's talk about that. Uh, but we're not talking about the cure for it, because medical science has no cure.
Okay.
Therefore, and if medical science has no cure, then according to those nitwits, there is no cure. And that's why they're nitwits, because there is no cure. And to say there is no cure is to spit in the face of God, because God can cure anything.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from, is that God can cure anything, and he can use food to do it if he wants to. He can do it with a drug, and he can do it with nothing. So
Hmm.
let's take a look at endometrial cancer. The first of all, let's take a look at endometriosis,
Yeah.
because you want to look at. So now we're going to move down the trail here. We're going to move away from this formulation and answer questions for somebody. This person is talking to us from the UK, and we're going to answer their question. And so let's go take a look at our go. We're on the website herbalhealthreview.com, and being on the website herbalhealthreview.com and logging in over here, because it won't let, because I have to log in. And so I can view the report. So now I'm looking at common conditions. I'm clicking on common conditions. And when I'm looking at common conditions, I'm going down A, B, C, D. Let's look at endometriosis, because it's endometrial. She's got an endometrial issue that she wants to know about. Now, I'm not diagnosing or prescribing for anyone. So the guys who want to do evil things to me for trying to help people, well, good luck with your bad idea. You know, but me, I'm blessed. I'm going to stay blessed, stay protected by the Holy Spirit in the name of Jesus Christ. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Endometriosis. Right here is a report where I did the research on endometriosis. And here's what I came up with with research on endometriosis, because we're talking about a condition that she wants to know about what natural remedies may be helpful when there's endometrial cancer. So we're going to talk about endometriosis to understand where we're going, which endometriosis is a condition that affects 10% of women who are of childbearing age. It occurs when the tissues that normally grow inside the uterus grow in other locations. That's endometriosis, and it is a notoriously painful condition, which many women have described as being more intense than childbirth. Internal scar tissue may eventually develop, which is a known cause of infertility. Medical books provide differing explanations as to why this condition is so incredibly painful, but there are only theories, and endometriosis is not well understood. The number one thing you want to know about it is there's some enzymes called vital zym, VITALZYM, and you get these vital zym enzymatic capsules, and it actually eats up scar tissue in the body, and is one of the things that may be very helpful. You want to find those vital zym the enzymes and you want to get some of those and you want to take one uh, uh, one daily, or not more than 3 of those capsules daily, and it eats up scar tissues, uh, and and uh, uh, endometriosis does not like vital Zim enzymes. Most doctors treat treat endometriosis uh, as by suppressing its symptoms with painkillers. That's it. They're not all they're doing is taking the pain away, and the endometriosis is blazing away. And that's what they do. They cover it up. Doctors are very good at covering things up. And then later you find out that you're worse than ever before. And another thing they do, or they place women on birth control drugs that cause them to skip their monthly cycle. Those are some of the things that medical doctors do with endometriosis. And as a result of such neglect, endometriosis is a leading cause of infertility in the civilized world. The mainstream methods of suppressing endometriosis are usually futile. In other words, it's not doing any good. They're just covering it up. Might as well sweep it under the rug. The only drugs that provide effective relief are extremely addictive, and all surgical attempts are largely failures. The most common long-term treatment is laparoscopic surgery to remove the excess tissues, but the condition has an extremely high reoccurrence rate despite surgical interventions. Some women get hysterectomies to eliminate endometriosis, but even in these cases, it sometimes returns in different places. Pregnancy is the only thing that reliably cures the condition. It still provides relief even in those rare cases when endometriosis is not completely cured. The condition always stops when menopause begins. The disease can have a massive impact on the quality of life. Women with endometriosis have an 87% chance of depression, an 88% chance of having mild to moderate anxiety. And I need some water. Oh, I didn't drink my drink. I've got to take in some water, folks. Hold on while I get some water.
Yes, that's fine. I'm listening to you.
Okay, all right. And so
Can you
63%.
touch on
63%. Go ahead.
menopausal women as well, please?
All right, we could go from that. We could go from here to there. And many women. Okay, well, let's finish this. 63%. We left off at 88% chance of having mild to moderate anxiety. 63% of endometrial women have several anxiety problems. Endometriosis sufferers are 4 times more likely to have allergy problems. And they are also 4 times more likely to have migraine headaches. Many women have severe endometriosis. Many women with severe endometriosis are forced to go on disability because their symptoms are so severe. The internet is riddled with horror stories about those who committed suicide due to their endometriosis pain.
Wow.
Endometriosis, symptoms of endometriosis, painful periods, painful intercourse, infertility, heavy or irregular bleeding, which then you need to be taking a lot of iron. And the best iron is the formulation called number 1015. Number 1050. If there's bleeding and you've got any heavy or irregular bleeding, you want to know about formula number 1015, which is called plasmania, which is going to give you a natural source of iron. And you want to take it and keep your so that you don't have fatigue from heavy irregular or irregular bleeding. And there's also painful bowel movements or urination, loss of stale menstrual brown blood, fatigue, depression, excessive mood swings, lower back pain, loss of large menstrual blood clots, swollen abdomen. So what's the cause of endometriosis? Well, according to TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, links endometriosis with liver problems. So you want to do a liver cleanse and you want to know about milk thistle seed extract. And you want to take about a teaspoon of milk thistle seed extract 3 times a day. One teaspoon 3 times a day, milk thistle seed, because milk thistle seed will cause new liver cells to grow. Milk thistle seed will coat over the liver and not let toxins into the liver. Therefore, it's a liver herb that feeds the liver and protects the liver. So you want to know about the 1015 formulation for plasmania, for iron, and you want to know about the herbs that are going to help the liver, and do a liver cleanse and stay on milk thistle seed extract to feed the liver. That's a nourishment for the liver. So it would be a good idea to nourish the liver. In a study titled Chinese Herbal Medicine for Endometriosis at Southampton University, it revealed that Chinese herbal medicine is more effective for endometriosis relief than mainstream treatments are, with no side effects. In other words, the drug dealers have side effects, and it's and the natural herbs are more effective. That's Southampton University revealed that report. The liver is the primary organ that is responsible for elimination of toxins. When the liver is unsuccessful, when the liver is unsuccessful at flushing the toxins, they sometimes remain in the liver forever. You can't flush them out. If you're not flushing out all the toxins, they stay there, and they stay there forever. These liver toxins are the most common cause of liver impairment. The liver is responsible for regulation of sex hormones, including estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The increases in estrogen make endometriosis more severe. So you would want to use phytoestrogens that act like estrogens and stop the harmful estrogens from attacking you. So you use plant estrogen, phytoestrogens. They look like estrogen, they act like estrogen, but they're softer and they take up the space of the harmful estrogen. And then the harmful estrogens can't harm you. So find out about natural estrogens. And we're going to talk about that if we have a chance here. But increases in estrogen make endometriosis more severe, indicating yet another hormonal component of the condition and the condition's relationship to liver health. The fact that this condition, endometriosis, is caused by liver dysfunction means that women who opt for mainstream treatments will eventually find themselves in a worse condition after treatments than they were before treatments.
Wow.
So this is because all of the pharmaceuticals stress the liver. A liver cleanse is crucial. Okay. Now, so there's a liver support formula. There's a liver support formula, number 1255, that I created, number 1255, liver tincture extract. There's a cleansing program with a liver cleansing herb formulation called number 1078, along with a fiber product formulation, a fiber powder, 2 things in a kit. There's 2 things in this cleansing program with bentonite clay. It's a kit. And when you get this kit, it's cleansing the liver and it's absorbing all the things that it's trying to get rid of, so you don't even have a headache. One of the first things that I learned to overcome 60 years ago was when people were telling me, I did a detox cleanse and man, I had a headache. I felt so horrible. It was terrible. And what I figured out how to do was do a detox cleanse and absorb it, all the bad stuff, where you don't even get a headache. And it's done with a special fiber program. Somebody called me up yesterday and told me that 30 years ago, they found me and they found this formulation, the cleansing program with the bentonite clay, with the fiber, with the bentonite clay. And he says, I've used that for 30 years. He said, I've recommended it to people. And he went on for about 30 minutes telling me all the people that he'd helped over the 30 years with this cleansing program with bentonite clay, with the fiber in it. So you're taking enough of there's 2 things in this kit. Cleansing program with bentonite clay kit. And it's kit. That is not the kit number. A cleansing program with bentonite clay kit. Let me go find that kit. Okay. Hold on just a minute. I can do this cleansing program. CLEANSING. I want to make sure and give you the number of that cleansing program because everybody should know about it. It's number 4486. The cleansing program is number 4486. And it comes with 2 things. It comes with the liquid number 1078. You take enough of the liquid to make the bowel movements soft. You want all the bowel movements to be soft because you're going to flush everything out. You're going to clean out the liver and get rid of all those toxins that are trying to stay there forever. We're going to get rid of them with this cleansing liquid. And you're making sure that you're making the bowel movements soft enough to have a soft bowel movement. And you're adding back the fiber powder with bentonite clay and super green foods in there. And it has that bentonite clay that pulls toxins and heavy metals to it. I mean, it's just absorbing everything and it's taking it right out of your body. So you're taking enough of the fiber product to keep the bowel movements thick enough to where you're not having diarrhea. In other words, you're balancing the bowel movements, cleaning out, but not diarrhea, because you're thickening, you're taking enough fiber powder, whether it's a teaspoon, a tablespoon, or 2 tablespoons, whatever it takes to thicken up the bowel movements. Then I created a formulation of herbs, witch hazel, garlic root, ginger root, with a little dash of cayenne to stimulate and open up the cells and let everything in. And then there's prickly ash bark, butcher's broom causing circulation, ginkgo leaf causing circulation, and structured water. And when you use this particular formulation internally, it's called EndoCare, and it is the formulation that I created that may help people with endometriosis. And I have many, many people who have called me back to tell me they don't have endometriosis anymore. So that's how we deal with endometrial problem. And there's a endometriosis support formulation as well. Let's take a look at that. That's number 1162, and I'm going to open 1162, and let's see if I can do that. I can do that. Open the link in a new tab. There it is. Let's take a look at this 1162. There's another formulation called No Xeno. That's its name. So here's another formulation, and that formulation has licorice root, prickly ash bark, pipsissewa leaf, pau d'arco bark, cramp bark, false unicorn root, saw palmetto berries, and red clover blossoms, astragalus root. Now that is another formulation that is targeted to endometriosis, and it may be helpful. Those are herbs and a system that may be helpful for endometriosis. So that, and then those phytozyme enzymes, now you have a tremendous study here, because the Endometriosis Association has done massive amounts of research on the connection between endometriosis and dioxin exposure. Dioxins are a byproduct of chlorination, which is used to bleach sanitary towels and napkins. The bleaching process is known to release dioxins that remain on consumer products. So that's how the consumer products are, this exposure, particularly in the case of tampons, could cause endometriosis or worsen it. So you want to be careful of what tampons you're using, because if they're loaded with dioxins, they're part of the cause. It has been shown that alcoholic women or former alcoholics are more likely to have endometriosis. Heavy drinking places a massive strain on the liver. Numerous studies have additionally linked a higher risk of endometriosis with women who have diets which are low in antioxidants, or who have above average free radicals, a lot of oxidation going on in the body. Oxidative damage is indicative of a bad diet overall. Your diet is your main thing. What you eat every single day is the keystone, to your diet health. So that's why I created the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system, which feeds you nourishment to where you are mentally and physically powerful. At 83, I'm mentally and physically powerful. Because a diet lacking in fruits and vegetables is one of the worst things that could happen to a person if they're not getting enough fruits and vegetables. And this can be easily fixed with dietary changes. Take a look at that Make Lifestyle Changes diet system, because it will lead you to eating a power diet that will give you extraordinary energy. A Korean study has linked endometriosis with small figured women. And the researchers noted that the thinner the women are, the more severe the endometriosis disease is. Hormones have a dramatic effect upon a person's weight, and the women tend to have smaller amounts of the hormone estrogen, which makes it more difficult for them to become pregnant. And again, let's use herbs that supply a plant estrogen rather than the estrogen that's coming from your body, which is causing cancer because it's too powerful, because that's what's going on here. Curing endometriosis, well, there's supposed to be no cure for anything unless it's a drug. But in the long term, the typical pharmaceutical methods for treating endometriosis will cause, in the long term, the pharmaceutical methods for treating endometriosis will cause the disease to worsen. The prolonged use of either strong painkillers or oral contraceptives is very harmful to the liver. Areas where endometrial tissue grows in the body become very inflamed, and the long-lasting inflammation prevents the body from properly healing. Therefore, one of the most important things for an endometriosis sufferer to do is to reduce the amount of inflammation in the body. So I created an inflammation formula with turmeric and boswellia. And there are other herbs that are great for inflammation, and you want to find out about herbs and foods that reduce inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a formula called inflammation. It has turmeric and boswellia and ginger, and it helps to reduce inflammation. And we need to take enough of these inflammation herbs until they're working. In other words, we're not going to do like 6 drops or 12 drops. We might have to do a teaspoon or 2 or a teaspoon three times a day to put the fire out. But that's whatever we need to do, we do it. That's it. But making lifestyle changes and making sure your diet is correct, that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure you're using natural nutrients like B vitamins to strengthen the liver and directly assist the body in disposing of excess estrogen. That's B vitamins. Make sure you're taking B complex, 100 milligrams twice a day. You want to make sure you're getting that formulation with that number 1078. It's got dandelion root in it that strengthens the liver and the kidneys. It's got milk thistle, and you want more milk thistle because it's renowned for strengthening the liver. You want to take nutrients like selenium, a mineral, selenium, which is a cancer fighter and has been historically given to cows. They give selenium to cows by farmers to prevent endometriosis with selenium. They give it to cows. Endometriosis, but you're not going to. But a doctor's not going to. They're going to give it to a cow, but they're not going to help a human being, and they should. Yeah. Selenium. Endometriosis hinders fertility. So farmers work hard to prevent a disease that results in fewer calves. The best single source of selenium is Brazil nuts. About 3 of them will give you your daily dose of selenium. Brazil nuts. Now, also you'll find selenium in tuna and cod and in meats, but you want to stay away from the meats. And you want to have you want to have very little. You want to have very little acidic foods.
Yeah.
Grains are acidic. Grains are acidic. Meat is acidic, and you want very little fish because it's acidic, and all this acid is feeding cancer. It can so selenium. You can also purchase. I take selenium every day. 200,
Mhm.
200 micrograms of selenium every single day. I, I'm taking selenium. Vitamin E is another thing I'm taking every single day. And vitamin E is known to ensure that animals have healthy uterine linings. I'll say it again, vitamin E, to ensure that animals like cows have healthy uterine linings. And it has been used by farmers since the 1930s. They know this.
Mhm.
Vitamin E and selenium are believed to work together to prevent damage to cell membranes and to protect against oxidation. Do not take blood thinners like vitamin E during the menstrual period because it's a blood thinner. And instead of people giving you, you know, blood thinners that are poison, which what they do, they give they give people blood thinners that are made from poisons, like rat poison. That's their blood thinner. Instead, use vitamin E, but don't use vitamin E whenever you're going to have surgery or whenever there's having your period, because vitamin E thins the blood and will increase bleeding. So we have to be careful of vitamin E and use it correctly. Now, due to the link between endometriosis and dioxins, it would be wise to supplement with chlorophyll. So you want spirulina, you want barley grass, wheatgrass, alfalfa, chlorella. You want all of these superfoods. So now you want to find out about the superfood formula that the folks make over there at Better Health Herbs. And I get nothing from the sale of any product, but you want their super green foods. I created that formulation. You can get it as a powder. You can get it as a liquid. It's really easy to take as a liquid. And you want a lot of it, like a tablespoon or two daily of super green foods, because the chlorophyll can remove the dioxins from the body, and it can be purchased as a liquid concentrate. Folic acid is another thing the evil people don't want you to find out about. Folic acid is necessary for the body to make heme, Heme, the iron heme. It's called heme, Heme, the iron containing non-protein part of hemoglobin. And they're using, and the folic acid is necessary for making heme, for the red blood, for the red blood cells. You got to have folic acid. So you take your B12 and your folic acid drops 3 times a day, and it'll wake up your brain, make you smarter, and it will it will uh, uh, it will help it's going to help, because too little folic acid can cause nutritional megoblastic anemia, large red blood cells that cannot transport oxygen well. It is known to help regulate, folic acid is known to help regulate and balance the hormones. Alcohol reduces the absorption of folic acid and increases the kidney's excretion of folic acid. Folic acid assists in the chelation of lead, and it helps the body to properly utilize zinc. Folic acid is so important. It is a strong connection. There is a strong connection between folate and the liver, because liver disease increases the loss of folate. If you've got liver problems, you're losing folate. And turmeric, we already talked about it. It's one of the greatest anti-inflammatories available. Eat a lot of turmeric roots, a lot of
Mhm.
turmeric powder. a lot of turmeric liquid. That's that inflammation formula. There is a formulation by a doctor by the name of Hoxsey, and Hoxsey formula is a formulation that was that helps that may help. Hoxsey formula may help shrink tumors and fibroids and release toxins. So you might want to look at the Hoxsey formula, number 1216, and get some of that into the system, like a teaspoon 3 times a day. When you're talking about tumors, well, the mushrooms, the 6 times mushrooms may help fight cancers and may help shrink tumors. The mushrooms. So you want to know about the Hoxsey formula that may help, and then the mushrooms that may help. Those are the kinds of things you want to eat. Radishes. Radishes were used in traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, to cure endometriosis. The Chinese are curing endometriosis with radishes. Radishes, and also help to radishes are very good for liver problems, including jaundice. It would be wise to include radishes in the diet. Alcohol should be avoided. Now, if you're talking about a small amount of alcohol in an herbal tincture, that's not going to be a problem. But if you're drinking alcohol, that is a problem. You can't drink alcohol, and because if you want to get rid of endometriosis, alcohol should be avoided, with the exception of an occasional glass of red wine. Red wine is good for you, but with all the but with the stuff they put in it to preserve it, it is not so good. So you want red wine that's organic and doesn't have any anything to preserve it, which is not good for you.
Yeah.
Greater amounts of alcohol or wine will impair the liver, will make it worse. Gelatin is the only common ingredient in endometriosis related pharmaceuticals. While it is purported to be an inactive ingredient, many sufferers have noticed that eating foods high in gelatin during the menstrual cycle is beneficial. Now, I know a lot of people don't want gelatin because it's an animal product, but if it helps, it helps. Endometriosis sufferers finally have a bona fide health reason, to eat gelatin, because it actually helps. Now, there's a suppository here where you can make your own suppository. You would cut cotton pieces in 2 inches by 4 inches, and lay them on top of each other until you have a small pile of 1 inch high. Okay, you're cutting pieces of cotton 2 inches by 4 inches, 1 inch high, stack. You're tying a string around it, and you around the middle, and you leave one end about 10 inches long, loosely hanging, and then you use a salve that's made from vegetable glycerin, and you mix 2 teaspoons of this salve with 2 teaspoons of glycerin together in a cup or a small pan, and you use more of the mixture if needed, and you soak that cotton in a mixture, and you thoroughly insert it into the vagina up to the cervix, leaving the long end of the string hanging out. Wear a heavy cotton cloth and a sanitary napkin over the vaginal opening so the mixture will not leak out on your bed or your bed clothing. And you follow this procedure 5 nights weekly before bed, and you remove it each morning by pulling slightly on the string, and this will draw out infection and help shrink fibroid tumors and ovarian cysts. And I have many people who are going to have a fibroid tumor cut out, which then they grow back. Or they were going to cut out the ovarian cysts, then they come back. And other growths that are in the uterus that can come back. But when they do this system, it doesn't come back. And these tumors are known to be completely disappear in 1 month without surgery, and they never come back. So there was these tumors were so large it blocked the colon, and they couldn't even have a bowel movement. And in 1 month it was gone. So there's a douche that you make there. There's a castor oil treatment pack that you also use, and that's what we do when there's fibroids. So because a lot of times fibroids are also a problem, but that's it. That's what we were talking about when we're talking about endometriosis. Now we are running out of time, and to get into menopause, I can do that quickly. But it's going to have to be quick. But you want to go on this website, herbalhealthreview.com, and you want to look at these reports, because now I'm going to go down and look at the menopause report, because she wanted to know things that would help people who are dealing with menopause. And again, we're not promising cures. We're not selling drugs. We're not selling anything. We're just except Jesus Christ. I'm a salesman for Jesus Christ.
Can I just clarify about the menopause?
Go ahead.
I was linking it more with the endometrial cancer that I'm, postmenopausal. So,
yes. So yeah.
Does
So
that
you're
does that
also
affect us differently?
Right. So a menopause formula. If there's menopause, you want to know about a menopause formula number 1291. And when you go up on betterhealthherbs.com and you type in 1291, it will bring up a menopause formula. And that formulation is there to help, and it may help women, menopausal women. It helps to alleviate hot flashes, dizziness, headaches, breathing difficulties, heart palpitations, and depression. And the herbs in there are blocking harmful estrogen from causing cancers, because it is a softer, the herbs in there that are balancing the estrogen, progesterone, balancing the hormones are herbal. So the herbs are less harmful. So that's why that is such a good thing. It doesn't help to cause cancer because it's a herbal formulation. There is a formula, a menopause formula, but sometimes women need more progesterone than they do estrogen. So there's a progesterone balance formulation, number 1351, if that's the problem. And if it's an estrogen balance situation, there is an estrogen balance formulation, number 1165. All of these herbs are blocking harmful hormones, which are aggravating cancer in the body. So we now have natural balancing hormones. And one of the greatest ones for females who are younger to balance their hormones is chaste tree berries. It helps with fibrosis, inflammation. And it's a benefit found both with PMS and menopausal women as well. Chaste tree berry. Chaste tree berry is very balancing in balancing out, especially it has an ability. Chaste tree berry has an ability to increase the production of the luteinizing hormone, LH, prolactin. So chaste tree berries is another possible help. Ginsengs are some of the greatest tonics that can be helpful when there's fatigue and weakness and deficiencies and stress. It's the king of all tonics. And so I created what is called Ginseng 6. I created and put all the ginsengs together because there are many different kinds of ginseng. Japanese ginseng, Korean ginseng, American ginseng, and I put all the ginsengs all together and created a ginseng powerhouse, and it's called Ginseng 6 for energy. If you're fatigued and need energy, number 1195, Ginseng Power 6. So there are things that we can do. If it's a blood tonic that we need, Dong Quai, Angelica sinensis is second only to ginseng because it is a blood tonic for women and a digestive stimulant. It has also been shown to assist the body efficiently using hormones. Dong Quai helps you to use your hormones properly. It has been used for menstrual cramping, irregularity, delayed flow, period pain, and weakness during menstruation. Dong Quai. It's beneficial for dissolving blood clots, loosening tight muscles, increasing circulation, stopping internal bleeding, allaying nervousness, and moistening the intestines to help with constipation. And when there is moisture needed, it protects the liver. Dong Quai protects the liver, and it has an antibacterial action. So those are the herbs for menopause. So that's what we were talking in that direction. Now, I do not have time to go into natural remedies, but a few weeks back, 2 or 3 weeks back, if you go up on YouTube and look in the last 3 weeks ago, we talked about cancer. So if you want to report all about cancer, I already made that video and it's already up there about 3 weeks ago. Go up on YouTube and look at what I said about natural remedies that support people with cancer. I didn't say cure. I didn't say, I didn't say anything like that. I just said it's going to support people with cancer. And that's it. So there we are.
And can I just ask one more question? Is fasting good as well to suppress cancers?
I'm sorry, say again.
Fasting, is that good to suppress cancers?
I'm not hearing the word you're saying.
To fast, to not eat and drink, is that a good thing to do as well?
Oh, fasting.
Yeah.
You never fast without water, but yes, and always fasting against bad foods. Fasting against foods that that you love, but that make you sick. And a lot of people have those problems. So fasting is good, but never fast without water and liquids. And always take your supplements, even when you're fasting, because you're not fasting against nutrition, you're fasting against toxins.
Right.
Okay. Any other question, my friend?
I think that's it for now. But what would you recommend to start with? Which one of these remedies would you recommend to start with?
Well, I listed quite a few in a report that I sent you, and then you're looking at these, and then you can text me or email me, and then we can go over, helping you to select those that may be the best herbs for you. I'm glad to help you with that selection. Just continue to email me and let me know what it is that you and we'll work our way through this. It's going to be a labor of love for Jesus Christ, and we can both work our way through this, and we'll see that you get all of the information so that you can make your own decisions. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Truman. It's been great listening to you, and I will definitely be emailing you. All right. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you and everybody else there in the UK. Thank you for joining us here. And this is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. This is Discoveries in Health. And we've come to the top of the hour. Let's get that closing prayer one more time. And that's Ephesians 6. I'm going to put on that whole body armor of God. I'm going to leave it on all night long. I'm going to sleep in it because I need all the protection I can get. And according to the Bible, Ephesians 6, 10 to 18, King James Version, finally, my brethren, in Jesus Christ's name, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand. Therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name, all praises to the Most High God. We receive his complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's name, we receive. So be it. Amen. Let's get over
Amen.
and let's open up the microphones so that the folks over there in the rooms can all praise the Most High together. All praises to the Most High God. Praise, worship, and thank you. Praise, worship, and thank you, the Most High God. Brothers and sisters, praise the Most High with me. Will you please? Praise God. Praise the Most High God. All praises to the Most High God.
Amen. Thank you again, Dr. Truman, Burst, and I will see you next week. Look forward to next week. Thank you.